As the text says, the mass media bestow prestige and enhance the authority of individuals and groups by legitimizing their status. We all, since we were little, have thought of getting recognition, maybe from our parents, from other friends, or teachers at school. And the same happens with the means of communication. Okay, think about working on a magazine. The first thing that you will think of will be what you want to talk about or the topics that you want to delve into. But at the end, the thing that you are going to give more importance to will be getting recognition, especially to be able to reach a larger audience. Because if not, how can you get people to read what you write if they doesn't know that your magazine exists? You need to get people to read what you write. And for that, it's also important the content of your magazine and the public you would like to refer to. Because people's behavior and opinions are really significant, and getting recognition from them will mean that you are important enough to have been able to stand out among a huge number of other magazines.
Lazarus van Mern's article discusses this concept I really resonated with under the narcotizing dysfunction. They talk about how people tend to read and acknowledge media that they see as being culturally important, and they just read it to, to feel read and pat themselves on the back, but not to actually help facilitate change. I see this so much. I have even been guilty of it in the past. I'm not as active on Instagram anymore, but I would always, in the past, I would see people reposting things, and they were just reposting to be seen as a culturally aware person. And they were just reposting it probably to their friends from whom they probably saw it in the first place. They may have even reposted it simply based on the reaction of their friends without actually reading the article or looking into the topic on their own. I know I've been guilty of that. And there you have that class lecture connection, the opinion leaders. You're basing your repost off of those people that you think have the idea.
One of the key ideas that article laid out really stuck out with me was the impact upon popular taste that mass communication has, or basically the way, quick or slow, that people's taste has been altered by the massification of movie studios, television series, and radio programs, conquering the population, which more and more appallingly lack an aesthetic judgment with their entertainment content choices. The text insists on how mass audience only contains a fraction of people with intellectual and cultivated standards, which don't stand out between the large masses of people. So, disagreeing with the text and supporting myself on the last week's lecture, Limited Effects and Functionalist Approaches, we found the uses and gratification theory, which states that there are different kinds of needs that media satisfies, such as cognitive, affective, and tension-release needs. Not always we have to demonstrate an elitist and impeccable taste of TV choices. Going back to the 5 points of the uses and gratification theory, intellectuals have no reason to despise people who consume certain media just because they have their reasons and their needs, as people use and interpret media according to their own personal goals.
We can connect this lecture with the last one because he talks about how he thinks that it is not possible to get to change someone's likes from media, but in the other one we saw that with persuasion we can change that mind. So for example, when you see some influencer promoting some kind of product, you're gonna finally be wanting that product. At the same time, we learned about the difference between the business and politics, because business are like, they try to get to know them, like McDonald's, they just advertise their thing. And for the other side, politics, they just try to get you to hate the other politic, not to really understand their position in there. They're just trying to you to say this other one is horrible.